Well, if you've been watching my videos like you should be, you'll remember that in the generator video I had mentioned that I had a lead on a window air conditioner, and here it is. This is a Frigidaire. I know nothing more other than what you see at this moment. This is a 5,000 BTU, pulls 4.9 amps, 515 watts, and if that's actually correct, it might be using R22. I have no idea if it works. It should, from what I was told. We'll try. Yeah. The thermostat did work the other day. It's just so hot because it's been sitting in the car for a couple days. So yeah, the fan works. Doesn't look like that much real capacity in there. This is a kind of newer unit. I think the back is kind of mashed up as well. Yeah, it had something on it. I don't know. And inside the thing, it's just, you can't really see with the camera here, but the motor is made by Welling. I've never heard of them nor looked at it. It does have a label stating the rotation. And it's just a double shaft motor in there. A fan on the back and a fan on the front. So high works, low works. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unplug it. A minute. The reason I'm doing that is so I can put the thing to cool in between fan speeds. The compressor is here, so I'll just leave the camera here because I have nowhere else to put it, and I'll plug it in, and with any luck we'll just get the compressor to start, and we'll see what that sounds like when I plug it in here. Well, apparently the fan started too, but it did sound like the compressor fired. Seems like it's actually cooling too. Yeah, you actually can. I didn't have it just right. Compressor is certainly running. It's getting cold here. So we'll let that run for a little bit, and then I'll put the fan back on, and then we'll let it sit for a while and let it heat and cool the outside at the same time, because I have another little project we're going to do today as well, because the weather seems to be cooperating somewhat. Not very cold at the top, certainly cold at the bottom. It may either take a while or hasn't been used in forever, or I don't know, so we'll just wait for a bit and come back. It's been about another minute or so. I don't know if you can tell, the bottom part of the coil seems to be somewhat frosting up. Top part, again, leaves a bit to be desired, although it looks like it's starting. It feels a little chilled, but not much. The bottom is certainly icy. And the date on this is April of 2002, so that makes it 11 years old, so it's pretty new yet. So we'll put the fan on low, and you can see the coil defrost immediately. We do have one frozen loop over there, which just defrosted. A lot of times that's indicative of low refrigerant. It's certainly blowing cool. I mean, I'd have to get my thermometer to see, but it appears to be working. So I guess I'm going to leave that for a bit and get my other project started, and I'll show you what that's about. Here's the generator again. I have some nuts and bolts, so I'm going to bolt it down to that, but I think we ought to do a run-up of it first, just to make sure that China didn't have something to say about it while it's sat in the garage over the last week. So, now to clear up any confusion, that way is full choke. That way is off, no choke. I'm going to put it about there. Turn the fuel on, and once again, they state to pull that, but before you do, again, turn the switch on. So now we're just going to pull it slow. We'll probably actually do that with the switch off, just in case, but it might actually fire. Let's give it a shot. Cool, now I can actually bolt her down. That's kind of awesome. Alright, well, I'm going to let it run for a minute, and then we'll actually fire that air conditioner up while we're at it, just for good measure. I just shut it off, so we got to wait a couple of minutes for everything to settle down, and then we'll go and do this. Okay, plugs in. We'll do fan first, even though I know it'll run it. Absolutely, not even a quiver. Shut that down. Wait for it to stop so it's got its full chooch load on it, you know? Still takes a while to spin down, so I guess that's good. Quite a while, my goodness. Alright, that stopped enough for me, so. Yeah, definitely chooched on it. I love that. It's running. You just play with the choke to where you get it to run best based on the load that you have on it, basically. But yeah, it'll start it, so that's good. We'll come back in a bit. One other thing I noticed on this is you can actually watch the throttle there and how it tries to correct for the loads on it. Now it's hard for me to see the screen out here, but if you see just to the right of the fuel valve, there's that armature there. Now when I go and turn this on, we'll try fan first, but I don't think it'll move. You can see it's jostling just a little bit. That's fan, there's nothing there. But you definitely saw it tug on that when it got a load on it. And she's fired up over here, so definitely works. Okay, I've taken the generator off of the dolly. And if you look down there, you can see there's a hole, and on the other side a hole. Same on the other side. So basically I just marked them out. You can see the dots I made and the scuffs that it's left just sitting on the dolly so far. So anyway, I'm going to drill those out on both sides, and then I'll put it back on and we'll put the bolts in that I got for it. Well, that's great. Somebody decided to make it rain. You know, I was waiting all day and it got sunny and nice, and now it just clouded the fuck up and said, no, we're going to rain on everything. Great. Okay, fortunately it was just a passing shower. I have the generator back on there. As good as the holes lined up, I mean, because I wasn't going to drill it with it on there because I can't get at, especially these in the back, so I'll see what I have to do to make that work. But when you're going to reuse old hardware like that that's actually rusty, I think we're just going to chooch these down with some WD. As much as I hate WD, I've had this can forever and I can't seem to get rid of it because I never use it. So we'll just spray those down real good. Get rid of this damn can. Let those sit for a bit and I'll start putting them in. Apparently I didn't drill them that off. You can see I put them through with some other washers that I have here that I had separate. These are bigger washers, but they're smaller than the size of the head, or rather the inside opening is. So that'll work. And I just got that pile of leftover shit. Pop them on the bottom. There's plenty of thread there, and tighten them up, so we'll go and do that. Okay, she's bolted down. These washers were a little big, but certainly smaller than the heads of these bolts that I had. So it'll work. It's on there nice and solid now. If I go to try to lift it, it's all one piece now. Definitely bolted up nice, so that'll definitely work. Let's say we fire this bitch up again. Shits and giggles, right? So, let's see. That'll work. Don't forget, put the switch on first. It works better that way. That wasn't bad at all. Definitely a lot nicer bolted down when you go to start it. One other good thing, by the way, that I thought of with this generator is if you have a device that you need to test that runs on 240 volts, there is an outlet for that, and this thing is kind of portable. As long as it'll fall into the wattage range that this thing will put out, I don't see any reason why that shouldn't work. So you could always do that to test it if you have like a 240 volt motor or some crap like that. I have a 240 volt AC that's in the garage that came with the house. I have no idea if it works. I would expect it does. I think it actually used to go in the dining room before they put the central air in. And if I'm not mistaken, it used to come out of the house right about here somewhere, right through the wall, because there is a 220 volt outlet basically right on the other side of the wall there, on the inside, maybe a foot or two in from where I showed you, but anyway, it's there. Oh, don't want that to melt on there, that's no good. I just used that to kneel on, it came with it, so that's kind of awesome. And we'll fire the AC up again. You can even wheel it around while it runs, you know? Okay, she's in. No big deal, it just barks. It just barks once and that's it. But I don't want to keep it like this too long. Keep it more like that. And that's about it. So that was the project for the day. Test this thing out, which seems to be working all right. It's certainly cold coming out, but I got to put my thermometer on it and see what it actually reads. And mount this bitch up, and she's mounted, so that's awesome.